Hello guys, it's a nice day today, so I thought why not change my fuel filter on my Peugeot 407 2-liter HDI. So I have a new fuel filter right here. It looks like this. I have a new seal, some other bits came with it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to remove your engine cover. What we want to do next, bad habit, but I always, if it has any connection, any electric plug on French car, I just like to disconnect the battery just in case. So disconnect your battery, just in case, because you never know. If you don't have like software to scan French car, Peugeot, Citroën, called the Box or Peugeot Planet, or then best way is just to disconnect battery before any work involving anything electrical, because otherwise it might give you some small little error, you never know. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna disconnect these connectors going into a fuel filter. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is I'm disconnecting this little connector here and just moving them slightly to the side. What we want to do next is it's a little clip where your hose is clipped in here, so you want to unclip it like that. Then you'll be able to twist your fuel supply a little bit, and next thing you want to do, you want to press from both sides these white little plastics from both sides. Just press them both at the same time and the hose will come off nicely like this. Okay, so that's your hose off now, the fuel hose, and we can just leave it here for now. If your fuel filter came with something like that, it might be a good idea just stick one of those here for now. Okay, so that the fuel wouldn't leak back through here and create an airlock in the rest of your fuel supply. Next thing you want to do is this hose here, which is a fuel supply with going into a fuel filter. So you need a screwdriver. You want to press it tiny bit here. When you press it a little bit here, what's going to happen, you're going to be able to just pull this one out. And if your filter came with something like this, then this is a very good thing to just put on top of the fuel supply, right? So now we just move this slightly bit of the way like this, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using size 27 head on the top of fuel filter to literally just undo it anti-clockwise. We're going to be just turning it slowly and undo our fuel filter anti-clockwise. So this can go a bit out of the way. As you can see, it nicely comes off. What's going to happen here now, we're just going to be able to pull out our fuel filter like this. You can see all the diesel inside. So yeah, and then you can just take off the old fuel filter and leave a cap somewhere. Just that's your old fuel filter. As you can see, it's probably not been changed for a while. It doesn't look too bad, but once the fuel filter gets through too many miles, it does get clogged, and then fuel barely goes through. It can causing a different issue such as low pressure in your fuel rail, low fuel pressure, sometimes even gives you a fuel leak fault, and just variety of other different faults, which if your car is equipped with DPF filter, sometimes even can cause anti-pollution, depollution fault. And it could be something just as simple as a fuel filter replacement needed. So here we go, we have our fuel filter here. And what we're going to be doing here now, we're going to be cleaning out the diesel which is inside our fuel filter. Also, one more thing I wanted to show, I don't know if you can see, probably not really, but basically what it is, in my fuel filter housing I can see some small tiny grains of what looks like metal grains or something like that. So yeah, it's quite good. I think I decided to change it. It definitely has some dirt inside the fuel filter. So yeah, let's crack on and clean the fuel filter housing first. So I personally think the best way to take a diesel out of a fuel filter housing would be some sort of, you know, syringe or something like that, so you could just pull it out. I wasn't really prepared for it, I ain't gonna lie, so I'm just gonna use something to scoop as much diesel out of it as I can. And then what I'm gonna be doing, I'm just gonna be cleaning it all inside up with like microfiber cloth or something. Yeah, something like a syringe would be much better. I just want to really empty that fuel filter. Fuel filter housing. I want to empty it as much as I can if needed. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm just gonna take a microfiber cloth, because that doesn't leave much behind it, and literally just give a good nice clean for inside my fuel filter. As you can see now, fuel filter housing is nearly nice and clean. So I'm just gonna, I'm quite happy with the result. This is actually, before installing a new fuel filter, what you want to do, you just want to clean it up here a little bit as well. Yep, that looks nice and clean. Just clean it up a little bit. Yeah, that looks really good. As you can see here, we have a seal. You can see the seal. It looks like, I don't know if you can see, I'll try to show you, it's all cracked up. You can see? I hope you can see. Basically, when I'm removing my seal now, I can see one side of it is all cracked. So what I want to do, first thing, I want to grab my seal which came with my new fuel filter, and I'm going to be replacing that first before anything else. So just one little good wipe area where the seal was, make sure there's nothing there which shouldn't be there. There we go. Now we're going to be putting our new seal on. Okay, I hope you can see. So the new seal goes nicely on onto the place it should. So now my fuel filter housing has a brand new seal on it with no cracks or rips or anything. Next thing you want to do, you want to take your actual fuel filter, so brand spanking new, And what you want to do, you want to stick it like this into your fuel filter housing cover. Then what we're going to be doing, we're going to be putting our fuel filter back in clockwise, as you can see. Okay, so I can see my fuel filter housing seal. Ooh, definitely good, because it barely lets me. It seals up properly, because even when you try to put it back in, it's not quite easy. So that's a good thing. At least I know it's a proper, and it's gonna be sealing this up, so it's not gonna be no air bubbles and building up because of it or anything like that. So I'm just gonna take my 27 spanner, and I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna try to put the camera here so you could see better. Here we go. And now I'm gonna just do my air filter up clockwise, as it should be, nicely. And here you go, we have a success. We have a fuel filter back in the place with a new seal on it. So what you want to do next is, now you want to disconnect this little clip here and put this back like this into your fuel filter housing. But now your fuel filter is empty, so what you have to do next is you have to prime it while holding something on this side. Make sure fuel starts to come out. Okay, so what I made here, I just literally cut a bottle of 7-Up, empty 7-Up bottle up, half a liter one, and I clean it all inside, make sure there's no water, no lemonade in it or whatever. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna be priming here so that the fuel goes inside the fuel filter. And once I'm gonna see the sufficient amount of fuel coming out of a fuel filter exit towards my fuel pump, I'll be happy with that. But that's gonna take a little bit of priming. 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. You see, now you're primed. What is happening here now, as you can see from here, from this angle, I'll try my absolute best to show you. When I prime it now, I primed like 20 times. Now when I prime it now, it starts to pop proper amount of fuel through out of my fuel filter. So this fuel, yeah, it goes nicely now through my filter, and it goes through it. So now I'm not gonna have, hopefully, no airlocks building up because of that, and I'll be able to start the car easily. So once you have this result, what you want to do is you want to take this away. You want to take your little fuel thing. This is a fuel line going to a fuel pump. I'm just going to connect that to my fuel filter. What we're going to have now is we have priming, which actually works, and the fuel is still all over the pipes. So now if I connect this connector back in a place where it's supposed to be, what should happen now, I should be able to just connect my battery back up, go inside the car, and I should be able to start this car with not much hustle. So we're just gonna go in the car and try to start the car. Sorry about the mess. As you can see, no hustle at all. That's how easily it's done. And it's not gonna stop. It's all how it should be. And it's all because you primed your fuel filter, which is what you have to do whenever you change the fuel filter. Otherwise you might even kill your battery just trying to start it up, because you're gonna make airlock in a fuel supply system. Just a one tiny little bit which I wanted to show you. Remember that little clip? Just clip your hose nicely back into it so it sits nicely. That's it. Job is done. Perfect. Once your fuel filter has been replaced, I'll just put the battery cover back on the battery. I'm literally just gonna put my engine cover back on, and yeah, looks like I'm ready to go. So here you go, guys, it's all done. New fuel filter is in. Alright guys, as you know, we've done everything now. So here we go. I used a cloth which I used to clean fuel filter housing, because it has a little bit of diesel on it. Man, I'm using it just to shiny up my engine bay a little bit after replacing my fuel filter, and guess what? That thing does the job. It shines everything up. Everything looks like new. I think I just found myself a best product to clean the engine bay with. Anyway, everything looks good. Slowly is getting into a shape where I like it to be, you know, to be on a good standard, to be a proper car, so I could trust it to be my daily. If you guys find this video useful, please subscribe my channel, Mad for French Cars, because there's loads of more stuff to come this year, and I need more subscribers, so please hit that subscribe button.